Welcome back to page 121. Today we're going to take a look at another offering from Digest Group Publications. This is Grand Survey. This is published in '86, and it's one of their very early books, and it's one that's actually still for use with Traveler before Mega Traveler. As we know, DGP was instrumental in developing Mega Traveler, at least some of their core task systems. But today we're going to take a look inside this guy and see what this did for Traveler as far as expanding how you looked at survey, and more importantly, survey tech, the equipment that you use to create a survey. This was a groundbreaking book in my opinion, and still sees a tremendous amount of use on my table. We're going to take a look at what's inside, and we're going to gently kick whoever holds the patents to these things, the license, to go ahead and get these back into publication, at least as PDFs. Really like to see these come out again. So we're going to take a look at Grand Survey from DGP. Grand Survey by Digest Group Publications for Traveler. I know this guy is very hard to come by. DGP did not see great distribution even when they were around. And of course, these are out of print and they're not being reprinted or anything right now. These videos are by way of kind of kicking the license holders in the butt and saying, hey guys, come on, there's a market out there, you're leaving money on the table. So I'm just going to take a look at what's inside, and we can take a look and see why these were so loved. Here you go. A little bit expanded world profile sheet for you right there on the inside cover. And then we go as to what we're going to be doing as we use this. This is an early use of some of the task stuff that would be coming from Mega Traveler. We're still using a Universal Planetary Profile, UPP. And I want to point out one thing in the lower corner here, where they call out right here in the bottom, portions of this is copyrighted by GDW in Book 6 Scouts and Special Supplement 2, Exotic Atmospheres. So I thought that was kind of cool. The Exotic Supplement 2, Exotic Atmosphere, that came from JTAS, Journal of Traveler's Aid Society, number 17. And I touched on that a little bit. If you watch my video on Journal of Traveler's Aid Society, I touch on that a little bit. It was kind of neat that they rolled that information in here too. Definitely going for a more complete feel. So here's the UTP, Universal Task Profile. I'm going to lay this down like I've been doing lately, and we're going to have a better look at it that way, I think. So here is the early of the task profile. All right, the Universal Task Profile, as far as I know, premiered here. This would go on to be, in a modified version, to be the task profile system that was used throughout Mega Traveler. That was developed initially by DGP. So it would just show how to do the Universal. I'm not going to go into that here. It's just important that it appears in this book. And now we get into the nuts and bolts of surveying a world. You have your EMS sensor array, electromagnetic spectrum, what they can and can't do. These were kind of neat, and I actually Xeroxed these, and these still see use on my table. These are kind of just instrument panels aboard your starship, and you can just use these as the panels, and I plunk them on the table, and it gives a little bit more of a starship flavor to it, I feel. Here we go. When you use the densitometer, it gives the range scale. And then we get into what the densitometer does. Densitometer. Well, it's hard to say. If you watch my other videos, you know I struggle with words like that. So it's just showing different instruments that you can use in Traveler. The neutrino sensor. There you go, another ship's instrument panel for the neutrino sensor. And this could also be a display on a handheld device or a tablet of some kind. Traveler did actually show a lot of depictions of people with tablets or tablet-like devices, considering that was 35 years ago. That's pretty cool. So it just showed us a lot of the survey equipment that you could use. Neural activity scanners or sensor. This was kind of neat because it was how the heck do you know that there are life forms about? So you would use that. Just an area scanner, just get an idea of what's around you. The Star Trek tricorder, I felt was a lot of the tricorder was an influence for this book, I thought. So we're still talking about detailing how you survey a world. And now we go starship sensors in combat. And then we go to survey procedures, how the Imperial Interstellar Scout Service, the IISS, would go about their business. This is a very useful book for a player or for a GM. You almost always have scouts somewhere in your mix, and to have all this information at your fingertips for use with scouts was very useful. A remote neural activity sensor probe. You send a little drone out. We're all familiar with drones, especially these days. So there you go. Portable life support system. Different vac suits at different tech levels. The Donosev class survey ship. They actually did a lead of this, or pewter, in the mid-90s. I've got that around here somewhere. I'll trot it out one of these days. And just some more information on surveying a world. Here's the Donosev Scout plan, the Starship plan, which is always wanted, always useful for any kind of traveler offering. I always want the Starship maps. And now detailing a world. This is not just for players who are playing a scout. This was very useful as a GM to kind of bring your worlds to life, make them more than just a line of numbers. So, a little bit more. And then we're coming up to, still talking about the world, the temperature. Still working on that. A lot of good reading in this particular book. And what kind of ports would be used. And then detailing the world and then mapping the world. Here's an example. The old orange slice cutout to show a sphere. And you can put all your stuff on there. Here's tectonic plates. This is World Regina with the tectonic plates mapped. So that's kind of cool. And the landmass is placed. Also Regina or Regina, however you say it. And then alien worlds. Why is it alien? Alien, of course, is anything foreign to yourself. But is it a world that we can live on without support? Do we have to have some kind of breathing apparatus, or is the gravity too high? Do we have to have some kind of artificial systems to keep us alive, or can we just walk around in a t-shirt? So you're detailing it. We've got overcast and precipitation. What does it rain? Is it raining acid rain? Is it raining just water? Is the water laden with something like chlorophyll? That's all stuff you can figure out. And more details on the world. So this was really heavy on how you would actually build up your world profile right there, and how the travelers would actually utilize the information that had been gathered by the IISS. And as I said, most traveler groups include a scout. So now we go to some tables and charts where you can randomly roll your world. You don't have to sit there and figure this all out. You can just kind of let the dice move you along a little bit. Generally, when I did this kind of thing, because I did develop my own worlds, I would throw the dice, and if I didn't like the result, I'd look first above the die roll and then below the die roll. So, for instance, if I were to have rolled the atmosphere, I'm rolling in the atmosphere, and it's right up here, and I threw a 6.95, so it's very close to Earth. I would take a look. Do I want it to be regular Earth or even a little thinner? So I would always take a look at above and below what my roll was, rather than just re-roll. Saves you a little bit of time, and honestly, most times it's somewhere right near what you threw anyway. And then there's natural resource charts. There's all kinds of fun stuff in this book. And then a world map that you can photocopy and go ahead and put your own world there. Complete index of what's contained in the book. I'll show the back face of the book with the Donosev. So Grand Survey was very important as far as what it offered initially to a traveler, which was how the heck do I chart a world? And charting a world in early Traveler was not the easiest thing. And there weren't a lot of resources. There were some, but to really make the world come to life, this book is very useful. You get the Donosev, which is also a very good vessel for starting out. That could be something that if you were in the IISS and you got a ship as a mustering out, Adonisev is a very real possibility. So, love the 80s artwork on the cover. I really do. And I love these books. I realize that this stuff has been redone in other versions of Traveler, and possibly even a little bit better than this was, but this was the first and still my favorite. So, just another look at a DGP product from 1980s. Again, guys, whoever owns the rights to these, please put them out. There is money to be had. People will buy these for nostalgia, if nothing else. I know I certainly would if these were available on PDF. I'd be there saying, take my money. So that's all I've got for today for page 121. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Any comments or questions, please leave them below. Any suggestions for future Traveler videos, go ahead and leave them below. And I'll see you next time on page 121.